So we are having these days here a new member from here, local from America, who joined us one day at the Alms Round, and we could explain to him about Alms Round and a bit of what we are learning, what we are trying to understand and change. And we gave him the address because he seemed to be very perceptive and responsive and also interested in understanding life. His name is Justin. So now, I was having some conversation with Justin because he's shy to share publicly, but he's very communicative in private, like one-to-one or in a group. And I still can't really grasp the idea of Justin and how he is. And I think exactly because of what he told as he himself sees happening in his life, in his mind, that mind is unstable and mind has too many thoughts and ideas. And he finds that sometimes we may start speaking about one subject and then just in a short time we already shift to a different story and we discuss something else. And then it's not wrong, it can be even right, because the other thing that we discuss may bring some other conclusion or understanding that is actually necessary. And the initial conversation might disappear as useless because they followed the new one, which gives something useful. But as Justin said, that the mind jumps from one thing to another, this is also what I experienced, that I cannot grasp him about who he is and how he is, because talking to him I feel that really he's jumping. So I also got the same idea of you as you shared about yourself, that hard to understand in a line, to follow from one point to the next logically and to the next one. Mind is unstable and very changeable. Usually, if we know our mind well enough, we can lead it. And if we don't know our mind, then the mind leads us. If we cannot control the mind controls us. So maybe this is how I see it happens in the case of Justin, that Justin follows his mind wherever the mind takes. But from some experience that he shares, I understand he has good values, some moral values, which is important to prevent any problem where the mind can take us in. Justin shared to me something that he was following for quite some time on his tablet, watching some ceremony in a church, some service. He was listening to that, and this took him away from here. He kind of, like, as if he forgot that he is actually here in this place with these people. He flew away to that church because this was comforting him. The service, they do some kind of chanting, some kind of singing of prayers. So he was listening to that and he felt good, and then he forgot about any suffering or any being here. Somehow Justin puts himself into suffering when he goes for a walk, and this is not a regular walk. He likes walking. He walks for hours. So also here to this monastery, he arrived on foot. He came making a journey of 4 hours to come here on foot, consciously choosing like this. And then even staying here with us, he went away for another walk, and he was walking again for several hours, 2 hours. and he got a bit frustrated, a bit tired, a bit maybe unhappy about having that long walk. So sometimes like he chooses to go walking because he likes to do this, but then he finds himself in suffering out of doing this. Is it right? Is it like that?
It's more like I didn't. It's more like I didn't find. Oh God! Oh. Oh, gosh. Hello, hello. 1, 2, 3. Testing. It was like I was focusing too much on that aspect of. I was letting myself dip down and focusing too much on that aspect of what was going on instead of just trying to find, like, slow down and sort of just enjoy it more, I guess.
Focusing on which aspect?
The suffering part, letting my mind dip, like not controlling my mind, and it just kind of dip down on its own.
Justin, you want to introduce a little bit about yourself? And
Hi, my name is Justin Clark. I'm from Texas. Born and raised in Houston. I lived a large portion of my life in Katy, Texas. I'm a former Navy vet.
Navy
Yeah.
Navy veterinarian?
Vet.
Oh, veteran.
Veteran.
Just 4 years though, not like I just did my 20 and only 37. Had a lot of fun in the Navy, and then I sort of lost my way when I left the Navy, and sort of gave up a lot of the discipline, unfortunately, when I left the Navy. So as my priest likes to say, is he even from the Navy? Is he even from the Navy anymore? No, I had a lot of good experiences in it. After that, I did delivery driving and a lot of odd jobs all over the place. And at this current moment, I do jobs for different gas stations around the area, so I can go pretty much anywhere I want to with my car and a gas station at this current point in time. I've spent about 4 or 5 years working for a cabinet maker. That was nice.
Cabinet
He was one of my parishioners at church, and that's how I got that job. So mostly out of the charity of his heart. So I really had to experience a lot of compassion from working at this place. So it was a very, very good experience for me. That gives you sort of some of my background, I guess. That's, yeah. Oh, so I spent almost, so what you call secular life, I guess, non-religious life. I was born and raised in the Orthodox Church, up to around 11, but I fell off into a life of sin, much like St. Mary of Egypt, as I was explaining to, I don't know why I keep picking Alex, Bao, and, then, I don't know, around the age 29, 30, I went back to the church. So I've been going to the Orthodox Church for about 6, 7 years now, trying to practice as best as I can. Yeah. So it was a rather interesting revival. Anything else? I was going to an Antiochian Orthodox, if that explains, because they have different dioceses, is what it's called. Like there's some that are Antiochian, some are Greek, some are Romanian, but they're all Orthodox. So I went to an Antiochian, which is actually from, it's based out of Antioch, like it's based out of some of the early Christian churches. That's sort of what it's centered around, I guess. I don't know what Antioch means. It was just a big center for commerce. So there was there was a mini. Yeah, okay, I'm done with that one. trying to explain things don't work out too well. Oh, let's see. Yeah, so what I was trying to say is I went to an Antiochian church. That's the one that my family was basically lived, and I was raised in that church. And then I went to, after the first year of spending time there around Christmas time, I went to a Romanian church, Romanian Orthodox church, with a friend from during Christmas. And then I fell in love with that church, and I stayed there I've been staying there for the rest of those years that I've been under tutelage of Father Julian Anițe, who is Romanian. Yeah. It's a Holy Protection Orthodox Church in Beach Nut and Highway 6, if you know where that is. If you're from the area at least.
How many years is that?
5 or 6, 7 years around that time frame. It's called the Holy Protection of the Mother of God, it's based on a miracle, an early miracle of the Mother of God. Yeah, I get this I can explain an idea right now. I have a whole idea of the picture of sort of this whole concept of what happened, but I can't formulate it into a story right now or how to tell you what happened.
But what happened with you, or what happened?
With the miracle, what was the miracle?
Tell us your miracle.
I was born.
Yeah. And?
And I was able to come back to the church to begin with. That's a miracle in of itself. Considering I had spent my life so long away from it. Because it's the world sort of sucks you into it. Becomes soulless, and it sucks your soul out. Like how the city is, right? It's not focused in on the compassion and the heart. It's more electronics and the mind and the just not non-high intellect thinking, I guess, right? If that's so to speak, right?
Also can be.
What happened when you were 11?
That's sensitive. Did I say 11?
You said like you went away from the church.
Yeah, around that age, yeah. I fell into sin. Like I just got absorbed by a particular sin.
Seems like
Yeah, it was. It was bad. I wish I don't know. Things happen for a reason, I guess.
at 11.
At 11, yeah, I left it. It was a slow degradation, and eventually I got to a point of, it was about, I was mentioning suffering. It's kind of interesting we come back to that. I think one of the biggest questions I had was like, why does God allow suffering for people who don't seem to deserve it? That was a tough question for me to answer. Clearly I'm still want to be part of the church, but it was one that when I was younger and I had been degraded from the understanding of, when you're not close enough to her or to the church, you don't get an idea of what it is to. But then when you get closer, you start to get an understanding of why it happens, and your mind is alleviated of it.
You still have that question?
What I just said?
Why people?
Is
Why does God allow suffering?
innocent suffering? Why? Well, if it's innocent, I don't want to formulate it, because if I formulate it, it'll probably just come out wrong.
You felt like you got an answer.
Yes, I feel like it, very much so. Yes, yeah.
Then we will remain without the answer, it means.
I'll let it settle for a bit. Maybe I can give you what I can find, but Because I believe everything happens for a reason. It's nothing is without meaning or purpose. But then also we live in a fallen world too, so suffering does come out of that too. I guess if you want to get more deeper, suffering comes for many reasons, right? Some stubbornness. If you're really, really stubborn, you can suffer a lot because of stubbornness. You can suffer just because you made a mistake. You stubbed your toe. What's another good reason for suffering? Or like, just there's some variations in it, like not being thankful sometimes. If you're not thankful, then maybe opposition. Maybe I'm wrong about that one actually. Like if you do something in opposition to it, right? Or is it the other way around? I don't know.
Being ungrateful is definitely suffering.
Yeah, there you go. But then, so suffering for me, it happens because of sin. So that's a big one. Like, how does sin causes suffering? So we live in a fallen world, and that causes the suffering for the people who, for everyone. It was like, I don't know, there's a quote, and it feels like it makes sense. It's like the rain falls on both the just and unjust, right? So we equally get both. And we're formed and molded by this, right? By the world that we live in. And it's really up to us to react to it. Because it's like you can suffer and be happy, and that can mold you into someone better, or you can suffer and be sad and miserable and become someone worse because of it. So you're the one that chooses to change it, to allow allow you the perspective of it and change you into a different person. So we always have a choice, I guess. And I like to think that, I think part of the hang up in that question ends up being that the world deludes you into thinking that there isn't like this sort of happiness that comes, that there isn't a sort of comfort that comes from God when those innocents are suffering, when those people are, there is a sort of a mercy, of course, because God is merciful. So if you don't see the both sides of the picture, you might not, or you're not in their shoes, you don't realize that these people who are suffering are also receiving the comfort and the mercy from God, even if they're not believers. Like I said, the rain, right? The rain falls on so even if they're not believers, they're still getting a help from Him. That's like, like as a kid, they watch all kinds of movies, and they paint a really negative picture about the world. At least a lot of them do. Some do. Some beautiful. There are some really beautiful movies out there, but a lot of them paint a rather negative picture of what happens at the end of certain situations, and they make it seem like it's a dark space when it's not. When it can be rather bright, a bright suffering, I guess. Especially for children. Because if you read the Bible, Jesus was like, he was very succinct about what happens to someone who becomes a stumbling block for those children, for innocent mind. So for to say that he doesn't do something for them, right, is silly. It was like put a thing around his neck and let him drown. It was like then to be a stumbling block for an innocent. What do you call it? A grindstone, I think it was, but I could be wrong. There's so many different words in the Bible, it's insane. Might have destabilized myself a bit while talking. Like, just trying to not muddle what I'm saying to y'all, so forgive me if I'm not. I guess it's like very erroneous, and I hope that whatever is truthful that comes out of me and makes it to you, and whatever isn't incidentally truthful, like out of my own opinionated errors, hopefully that is somehow made into good too. It was like, I just recently read that, like, it was like God takes your strengths and your weaknesses, and He can turn your weaknesses into strength, and you can also make use of them too. I think it's about it's a pause enough if anyone wants to.
We're gonna translate and then we'll let Seattle speak.
Okay.
You're sharing.
The main points.
Yeah, I'm gonna translate.
I understand. I tend to meander a little bit. I do.
It's great. It's fine. I want to learn about each other.
How old are you, Justin?
37.
37. Đây là sự chia sẻ của Justin. Justin là năm nay 37 tuổi. Anh được sinh ra ở tiểu bang Texas và lớn lên ở đây. Anh được sinh ra trong một nhà thờ gọi là chính thống đốc giáo, Orthodox. Yeah. Okay. Và từ nhỏ thì Justin và gia đình đã được nuôi dạy trong khuôn khổ của giáo lý của đạo chính thống. Nhưng mà khi anh 11 tuổi thì hình như anh đã mất phương hướng và anh đã rời khỏi nhà thờ và rời khỏi Chúa. Sau đó anh hầu như là đã tìm những công việc khác nhau. Sau đó anh lớn lên và anh tham gia vào thủy quân lục chiến, và sau đó thì anh trở thành cựu quân nhân thủy quân lục chiến. Sau khi anh xuất ngũ thì anh đã đi du lịch trên chiếc xe của mình và làm từ công việc này sang công việc khác. Và có vẻ như là dạo thời gian gần đây khoảng từ 6 đến 7 năm thì anh lại có cơ hội để quay về để sinh hoạt với nhà thờ, vì anh đã làm việc với lại một cái công ty gỗ để đóng những cái kệ cho nhà thờ. Thì từ cái công việc này anh có cơ hội để tiếp xúc với nhà thờ và quay lại để sinh hoạt với nhà thờ nơi mà anh đã rời bỏ. Anh nghĩ rằng khi anh 11 tuổi thì có những tội lỗi nào đó đã lôi kéo anh đi, giống như là cuộc đời đầy tội lỗi này đã đưa anh ra khỏi nhà thờ. Nhưng từ đó cho đến bây giờ, câu hỏi lớn nhất trong tâm của anh vẫn là vì sao Thượng Đế lại để cho mọi người khổ đau, mặc dù họ không xứng đáng phải bị như vậy? Tại sao lại có khổ đau ngay cả đối với những người vô tội? Đây là câu hỏi mà anh vẫn chưa tìm được câu trả lời, và anh cố gắng để tìm hiểu, để trả lời nó. Và có một câu trong Kinh Thánh có nghĩa là cơn mưa rớt xuống cho cả người bất chính và người công chính. Có nghĩa là chúng ta cho dù là tốt hoặc xấu đều cũng sẽ nhận lại khổ đau. Quan trọng nhất là thái độ phản ứng của chúng ta. Chúng ta cũng có thể gặp rất nhiều khổ đau, nhưng từ đó chúng ta có quyền chọn lựa để trở thành một người tốt hơn hoặc một người xấu hơn. Và đôi khi cuộc đời có thể làm chúng ta rời xa khỏi vòng tay của Chúa Trời, nhưng tình yêu thương của Ngài sẽ gìn giữ cho tất cả con chiên của Ngài. Và có thể là anh đã tìm được một ít câu trả lời nào đó cho câu hỏi của mình, nhưng vẫn hoàn toàn chưa trọn vẹn. Cho nên anh chỉ chia sẻ được anh mong muốn rằng những sự thật nào mà anh hiểu được tận sâu thẳm của anh thì anh có thể chia sẻ để mọi người cùng hiểu. Và anh xin sám hối nếu những gì chưa thật sự là sự thật trong anh đã không thể nào thoát ra được và không làm cho mọi người có thể hiểu một cách rõ ràng được. Và anh nhớ một lời trong Kinh Thánh, Đức Chúa Trời đã nói rằng Ngài có thể chuyển hóa những yếu điểm của các con chiên để trở thành những sức mạnh. Và anh luôn nhớ về những điều mà trong kinh đã dạy cho anh ta. Nhưng câu hỏi lớn là vì sao lại có khổ đau vẫn còn chưa được giải tỏa hoàn toàn. Và hôm nay anh đến đây, mới đầu anh đến đây là vì anh nhận được thực phẩm từ nơi này, nhưng anh cảm thấy ở nơi đây anh có thể chia sẻ và anh có thể học hỏi được từ khóa thiền này, cho nên anh vẫn còn có mặt ở đây. Và đây là sự chia sẻ của anh Justin.
One of the things he said was he left the church at a young age. One of the reasons was because of questioning why God was allowing suffering for people who don't deserve it. So because of that question was one reason he left the church.
So when he asked the question, what is the answer?
He said he got an answer, but he didn't share what was the answer.
Answer by his own experience, not answering the
He
church.
did. Yeah, then he got the answer, and he came back to the church around 29 or 30, age 29, 30.
So he used to go to church every Sunday, is
I
it?
still do.
Every?
Now he also goes every Sunday.
Yes.
And then you ask the church to the father, and then you got the answer.
I got an answer because of I got an answer because of learning more, because of lack of ignorance, becoming less ignorant in the church.
He didn't get direct answer from someone in the church. He got it by his own experience.
Oh.
And I came here just to add that Justin also noticed that since he left church, he felt it was a downgrade for his life. Downgrade means like
certainly, yes, I do.
that he lost he lost something, because like the system, we can upgrade, right, the system, and we can downgrade to the previous version. So when he left church, after some time he understood it was a downgrade for him.
So he went back.
So after many years he went back.
And then he talked about where suffering comes from. So he gave some examples, like stubbornness can cause suffering, being stubborn. And like just making a mistake and stubbing your toe, like hitting your toe on the ground because of not being mindful. And
Suffering is to appreciate.
Yeah, not being thankful.
yeah, not being thankful.
And then sin causes.
And sin, yeah. Sin causes suffering for everyone, he said.
So his understanding of why they're suffering is because of stubbornness, not being thankful, and sin. That's his understanding. Let him think.
Then not being thankful mean to God or to someone. Not.
I'm not understanding.
Not being thankful, like you said, that suffering may come if you're not thankful enough. Is one
Mhm.
of the examples.
Because it leans over into complaining,
So
what's miserable.
yeah, so Sayadaw asks if not being thankful to God or to people or to yourself, like what? Thankful to whom?
Thankful for anything and everything,
To whom?
including God, yes. But just being thankful in general can also lead to being thankful to God. So, yeah. But I just want to say it's just in general, because if you're thankful, it grows. Like you grow that seed, and it can be used anywhere. I'm sorry, that was.
No, it's interesting. He's analyzing also to understand you.
Okay.
Understand you.
Okay.
He's not analyzing, he just wants to understand.
Yeah. Analyzing the information to understand.
So that one is sin.
Like precepts.
No, like greed, anger, delusion could be sin.
Like unwholesome karma, unwholesome
Feeling-
action.
Unwholesome sexual contact.
Yeah. Precepts.
Unwholesome sexual conduct.
Not all. Killing,
Like breaking precepts.
stealing, lying. Precepts. This is a sin.
These are very obvious ones.
Stealing, killing,
Yeah. Being unfaithful.
lying. No, these are the
I know
The
it's.
things that we practice.
we all
Sayadaw comes from
I
different
don't. I don't know
culture.
why. I'm sorry. I just something silly. I feel like throwing them out there for some reason.
No. You should understand Sayadaw comes from different culture. He never studied in a church, and he didn't live in the community that has a church.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So
he has
we
no
have
background.
to help him, like.
Forgive
we
me.
make
I
a
was
bridge.
being a little too
No,
goofy.
make-
Yeah, you're fine. Like he doesn't know the Ten Commandments. He has
Yeah.
no background.
The
He's
word
just-
sin he doesn't know. It's
Oh.
not
He's trying to understand.
Wow.
Maybe
Okay.
it's-
That's amazing. That's like fresh off the
just
bucket.
dictionary.
Wow.
He doesn't know the same. He doesn't have the same vocabulary. He knows
It's just
the life without sins exactly. So we
'Cause-
try to explain it.
So to be more, if I can explain sin a little bit more specifically, because it gets more in depth, right, and deeper, right. Like missing the mark is another word for it.
Mark on the way.
Hmm?
Mark on the way. Which mark?
Missing the mark,
missing the target.
the target. Yes.
Mark on the way. What
No,
way
the
you
target.
go?
Oh, like
No,
on
there's
the
check the standard, or there's.
There you go. Thank
there's a
you.
Standard, and he didn't meet that.
That's what. That's yeah. So if you don't meet the standard, yeah,
Reaching
And this is a sin.
goal.
yeah.
The standard that God set out, you don't meet it. It's sinful.
Mm-hmm. But we're only able to really hit that mark with Him too. That's why it's like with all things possible for God, right? But for man, it's not possible at all. But without God, we can't even hit the mark.
Not your personal mark.
Definitely not my personal.
So how did you understand like this? What is the cause of understanding like this? You learn by yourself in the society or
Well, what I'm talking about right now is from reading, from hearing what people say, from my own experience, from listening, which I need to practice so much. That's why I try to be more. I think maybe the shyness has come out of my desire to listen more than to speak.
I will explain about myself also.
Oh, okay.
I was busy for education as a student for over 20 years.
So you were very studious, like.
Yes, because I love education. I want to be educated person rather than rich person or authorized person. I love education more than position, money, fame. That's why I work very hard in education. But I cannot. In this way, I became one of the graduated person. But I was not satisfied. My life of an educated person. And then I was busy for my own business for over 7 years continuously. In this way, I can save money and bought apartments, car. But
You weren't satisfied?
yes, not satisfied again.
Yeah.
Only when I started practicing meditation by keeping preset and by helping to the meditators like this.
Mm-hmm.
I was satisfied to do good deeds like this from the beginning, from the first day of practicing meditation. I was satisfied, although I was not skillful to keep preset, to practice mindfulness and detachment. That's why I continues from 1999 till now, not only practicing by myself, but also sharing, teaching to the others continuously. But sharing like this is also not easy. Many liking, disliking, believing, not believing. supporting, disturbing. But I did not give up doing good deeds like this. I worked very hard to do good deeds like this because I'm certified. Education, business, healthcare, social activities are not certified to me. Only doing good deeds like this make me certified, and then I have been working more and more in this way. My mind changed. My life also changed. I myself cannot understand the change. If I was not me, I may not.
So you're saying you don't want there's not, it happened and you're not really sure what, like, how. No, that's man, it's sort of,
Changing is
yeah,
really great. Never expect before this kind of changing of the mind, changing of the view, changing of the life, from the life of someone to the life of no one, from the mind of a man to the mind of nature, selfless, impermanent nature. Like from the mind of a living beings, my mind changed to the mind of nature. Nature means that nature is permanent.
the nature is permanent.
Nature.
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 Natural.
The mind became natural, not the mind of someone.
I thought you said Nietzsche.
Nietzsche. Not far.
Philosopher.
In the beginning, it is the same. I'm also difficult to listen to you. So also you may be difficult to listen to me because we are just stranger now.
Well, it's a lovely misunderstanding.
Yes. But if we can speak more and more long time, I can understand you, so also you can understand me.
Mm-hmm.
It used to happen like this. Because we are not speaking like this for long time. I used to speak especially with the Vietnamese, not much with the Westerner. So English is American English, British English, so that's the, because of understanding like this, I can accept whatever happened, misunderstanding or not understanding, I can accept it. So also, what I want to share is the real creator is our own past and present karma or action. No one is creating. That's why besides karma is action, is the cause of returning the same reaction for sure. This law of karma is really powerful.
I don't mean to interrupt you. Maybe it's something just personal. Maybe I should. Forgive me.
Yes.
No. So I don't. So the two words that you repeated to help clarify.
Action and reaction.
Oh, maybe
Karma.
Cause and
Karma means action.
Karma, yes, he said karma. This is a new also terminology. In Catholic churches, we don't use the word karma.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so this is also new vocabulary.
It's okay.
Yeah, so Sayadaw says karma is action and the same reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you do, you will receive in return the same type of action. Not particularly now, not from the same person, not in the same situation. Sometime you will experience the same. This is karma.
like if you help someone.
No, I forgive me. Oh, I'm interrupting. I don't mind hearing. No, I've karma is something I've heard of before.
You can.
In my understanding, the
In
real
my understanding, I mean, yeah.
the real God is action. Our physical, verbal, and mental action are
What was that word?
the
The
real
real God.
God.
Oh, action.
The
Real
real-
God is action.
Verbal,
Yes,
physical,
which
and
which
mental.
is
Okay.
creating the same reaction sooner or later.
Uh-huh.
That is what I understand. Because of practicing and learning for over 20 years continuously, the more I believe in action, the more I came to understand action. Our physical, verbal, and mental actions are the real creator of our life.
Sorry, I'm a little bit. I get space. I'm a little bit spacey sometimes. Forgive me.
The physical, verbal, and mental actions
Whatever you
are the
say,
real creators of our life.
whatever you say, whatever you do, whatever you think, right? All this has impact.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Yes.
Yes. So this is how you create the cause of your karma. This is the cause.
Well, all of it. Yes. Thinking is. Well,
mental, yes.
that's. Mhm.
Physical, verbal, and mental. And then you get the reaction. Physical, mental, and verbal at some point in the future.
So what you do, what you say, and what you think is what will come back. What will happen? What will be?
Very simple. Okay. Yeah. Oh. The logos.
You don't have to agree or understand right now. Just,
Yes, I have to be
just
patient.
yes, it is good.
If you understand this theory, you should apply. The more you apply, the more you will understand this is right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
If we understand like this, if someone is killed like Chalika, that because of his past action of killing. In this way, the one who killed, who shoot to Chalikat, will be killed again in return,
Yeah.
in this life or in the next life. In this way, the action, they did the same action. Both of killer and the one who being killed did the same action of killing. That's why they receive back the same reaction of their past action of
Sorry.
killing.
It's triggering me a little something. I just went through. I had a. Do you mind if I speak? I recently had an experience that was rather jarring. Well, it was a mix of jarring, but maybe it was the. You know, as an American, we like the comfort and the pleasure and just the, relaxing and not being more disciplined and strict, and so I'm still, you know, even in 7 years, I'm still rather stubborn and still want that side of things, even though being the other side is rather amazing, which is why I call myself crazy sometimes. But I was trying to get back kind of high flying, or sort of not high flying, I guess it's high flying, sort of more level, and I'd spent 2 weeks of that, of managing myself, and I had this weird a spiritual experience of sorts, where it was like I was getting back up, but because of my lack of understanding, I fell way back down, and it was, wow, scary. My mind, like you said, that you lose control of if you don't manage your mind might can take control of you. I had been tricked. I mean, I'm standing before you as a testament of the power of God, because of this. He brought back my sanity, for the most part. No, he did. That's bad. I'm sorry. No, he brought back my sanity, and I had gotten to a point where I was in such a state of negative despair that I thought I'd lost my salvation and just lost everything, because my mind had gotten so, I guess, twisted in a certain way. I don't know. It was weird, because like it was sort of a delusion of sorts, because of lack of understanding. And then the words sort of got me into this dark place. Because, you know, like, God speaks to you through many people. But then the demons can take advantage of that too, and speak to you through your mind if they're able to cloud you enough. And I think I may have been clouded so much that, because of that drop, that they were able to lead me in a different direction for a while, and it led me to despair. That was really tough, and scary. But I was able to get out of that by the grace of God.
Can you describe more what the drop means, so that we can understand?
Well, deep depression, I guess. Depression, darkness, thinking that I was almost a demon at one point or another.
Did it manifest in your life as well, in your actions and in things like that, or just in your mind?
In my mind, mainly. But there were some points where they'd almost convinced me to like jump in front of cars and stuff. Like, it was that bad. Yeah. My mind had almost convinced me to do a lot of really crazy stuff. But because of God, and I was able not. I didn't go that far. Thank God. And eventually, He was able to pull me back, and I was able to go back to church. That was a time, because I was pretty, for long, like even in my erroneous ways, I was still able to go to church. But at that time, it was so bad that I wasn't able to make myself go to church sometimes because of it. Somehow I managed to still, by the prayers of I would say the prayers of that church are really strong, because that spiritual father, Father Julian, I can't even imagine. He was born and raised in Romania, and that's a predominantly Orthodox Christian church. So he lived on a farm. So he had a lot of instances of discipline that kept him on the straight path for a long time, and that bear a lot of fruit in his missionary efforts. He's produced multiple mission churches, and a recent church that was just christened a full church. So yeah, he's a pretty amazing guy. I'm thankful to have found him sort of accidentally. So, whoa. Well, no, you know what? It wasn't accidentally, by the providence of God. There's no accident. I was meant to meet him. I'm extremely grateful for it. That's okay. Thank you. Okay. See, like that's the craziest sometimes. Sorry.
He said that as Americans, we like relaxing and enjoying more than discipline or strict discipline. And still, a part of him wants to just relax and enjoy, although he understands that discipline is amazing. And that's why he feels crazy sometimes because of this conflict. And he tried to follow discipline and felt like he became spiritually higher, and then he fell down again into a very dark, depressed, negative place of despair. And he said that at that time, even he felt maybe demons could take over his mind and were telling him to do bad things, like
Pretty horrible things.
even to go in front of a car. But that God was able to pull him back from that
Precipice, so to speak. If you want to call it.
from that edge of
Yeah.
God and the church.
And the church. the prayers
yeah,
of
and the
my
church
church.
and his spiritual father, who was also praying for him.
Also, you switched off. Also, I noticed, like what I remarked is that Justin felt lack of understanding about what happens, and this was bringing him more down and down, and he felt there was some delusion in life, and this was bringing him depression that he couldn't understand.
Con xin tóm gọn lại phần trao đổi giữa các thiền sinh và ngài thiền sư. Vẫn là câu hỏi lớn của Justin là tại sao Chúa lại tạo ra khổ đau, cho dù là những người đó không xứng đáng phải nhận lại khổ đau. Thì ngài thiền sư có trả lời là sự chia sẻ của ngài thiền sư như sau: thầy cũng đã bận rộn với việc học tập trên 20 năm. Thầy rất là thích việc giáo dục và thầy đã trở thành một người có kiến thức, và thầy yêu kiến thức hơn cả những quyền lợi, danh vọng và tiền bạc. Và rồi thầy lại bận rộn với việc kinh doanh trên 7 năm và mua được một ngôi nhà, nhưng thầy lại không hài lòng với việc kinh doanh của mình và cũng không hài lòng với việc học tập của mình. Chỉ khi thầy thực hành thiền bằng cách giữ giới và giúp đỡ những thiền sinh như vậy thì thầy mới cảm thấy hài lòng với các việc làm thiện pháp. Ngay từ ngày đầu tiên làm các thiện pháp, thầy đã cảm thấy hài lòng, mặc dù lúc đó thầy chưa quá thuần thục với việc giữ giới, thực tập thiền, nhưng thầy đã cố gắng tiếp tục cho đến bây giờ. Không chỉ là thực tập mà thôi, mà cũng là chia sẻ pháp. Và sự chia sẻ này cũng không dễ dàng chút nào. Có nhiều người thích hoặc không thích, tin hoặc không tin, hỗ trợ hoặc không hỗ trợ, nhưng thầy vẫn không bỏ cuộc. Thầy vẫn tiếp tục làm các thiện pháp như vậy. Vì lại thầy làm việc rất cực lực cho thiện pháp nên thầy cảm thấy hài lòng. Chỉ khi nào và các thiện pháp này đã giúp cho thầy thay đổi tâm và thay đổi đời sống của thầy. Thực ra Thầy cũng không thể hiểu được sự thay đổi này, nhưng thay đổi là rất tốt. Thầy đã thay đổi tâm và góc nhìn đời sống và góc nhìn của một ai đó sang đời sống của không có một ai cả. Thay đổi từ tâm của một người đàn ông sang tâm của vô ngã, của bản chất vô thường và vô ngã. Từ tâm của một chúng sinh, thầy đã có thể thay đổi tâm của mình để trở thành tâm tự nhiên. Tâm có thể trở nên tự nhiên nếu như nó không thuộc quyền sở hữu của một ai đó. Giống như là và Justin có nói là con rất khó để nghe những gì thầy nói vì con không quá là hiểu nhiều những gì thầy chia sẻ về ngôn ngữ của thầy. Và thầy cũng trả lời rằng đối với thầy thì vào giai đoạn đầu cũng rất là khó để thầy nghe được cái giọng của con, vì thầy không quen nghe tiếng Anh từ người địa phương. Nhưng mà nếu mà chúng ta tiếp tục đối thoại với nhau thì chúng ta sẽ càng ngày càng hiểu nhau hơn. Và Ngài chia sẻ về câu hỏi của Justin rằng thực ra tạo hóa thật sự của chúng ta, đấng tạo hóa thật sự của chúng ta chính là những hành động trong quá khứ và hành động hiện tại của chúng ta, hoặc còn gọi là nghiệp. Không có ai là đang tạo ra cái gì cả ngoài nghiệp của chúng ta. Nghiệp là hành động và nguyên nhân của hành động ngược lại. Đây, luật của nghiệp thật sự là rất mạnh. Thượng Đế thật sự chính là hành động của chúng ta. Hành động của thân, khẩu và ý là những người đã tạo ra những kết quả tương tự vào lúc này hoặc là lúc khác. Đó là những sự hiểu biết của thầy. Vì thầy luôn thực tập và tìm hiểu trên 20 năm. Và nếu thầy càng tin vào nghiệp, tin vào hành động, thì thầy càng hiểu một cách rõ ràng rằng các hành động của thân, khẩu và ý chính là đấng tạo hóa thật sự của đời sống của chúng ta. Nếu như con muốn hiểu về lý thuyết này thì con hãy nên áp dụng lý thuyết này. Con hãy nên áp dụng nó để con có thể hiểu được cái gì là đúng và cái gì là sai. Chẳng hạn như chúng ta đã nghe từ trên tin tức là anh Charlie Kirk đã bị ám sát, nhưng bởi vì anh ta đã cũng có hành động sát nhân trong quá khứ, và người đã giết anh ta cũng sẽ phải chịu lại kết quả này ở tương lai. Cả hai người họ đều đã có hành động giống nhau. Cả người bị hại và kẻ sát nhân đã cùng có một hành động giống nhau. Và chia sẻ của Justin có cắt ngang Ngài và chia sẻ thêm rằng đối với một người Mỹ thì chúng con thích sự dễ chịu hơn là những quy luật. Và như vậy thì đôi khi con có bị giằng co giữa sự tự do và những luật lệ, và con cảm thấy mình có thể sẽ bị điên loạn. Và khi con cố gắng theo những luật lệ thì con đã rớt xuống một vực sâu. Tâm của con bắt đầu bị mất kiểm soát. Và đây là những lời thú tội của con trước Ngài. Thực ra vì con không hiểu được những gì đang xảy ra, và con cảm thấy giống như là có một tâm ma nào đó đang lợi dụng tâm của con và làm cho tâm của con điên đảo. Và từ đó con đã rớt xuống hố sâu của trầm cảm, của bóng tối. Và có đôi lúc con tưởng con là một này đã thuyết phục con để tự tử trước những chiếc xe. Và nhờ về đức tin của Chúa nên con đã không tự hủy hoại cuộc sống của mình. Và con đã gặp gỡ cha xứ Julian và Đức Chúa Trời và những người trong nhà thờ đã cứu rỗi con và đã giúp đỡ con thoát ra. Vì có Đức Chúa Trời nên con đã không tự kết liễu bản thân mình.
Sorry, I was just listening. I heard Charlie Kirk was on.
Yeah, he did. Say that. There's a story, I don't know the story, but yeah, he was assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Kirk was assassinated.
I article. Mm-hmm.
So I translated both Seattle's, yours, Katerina, Ellie's, everybody combined, not just only yours.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's
Sorry.
why it seems really long.
That's interesting. Good efficacy, I think.
if we rely on someone, even ourselves, we may feel disappointment. Sooner or later, for sure. Only when we are doing good deeds like this, by keeping preset with mindfulness and detachment, we will understand more and more about cause and effect of physical, verbal, and mental action of ourselves and the others.
Not the concept, the English. Skip pronunciation.
Barely.
If you do good deeds, good actions, good deeds, helping others, doing what is right,
Yeah.
then you can understand better how
Well, you're practicing, what you were, what's been
morality,
told.
morality, right?
Yeah.
Morality. Then you can understand better also about physical problem, interaction, and about the results, action and reaction.
Because of practicing meditation, I can detach from oneself or someone or I. That's why I can accept myself.
You said get and then keep that.
I can accept myself as everyone, including you. I may be the same like you. You mean? Now you go to the church and then you think about why some of the people get suffering without deserving. So you also think like this? I may do the same. I may do the same depression
You can also observe that.
like you
You can think like you.
because of
Same question: why do people suffer without deserving it?
Okay. Forgive me.
in this way, detaching from someone or I can accept me as everyone, good or bad, man or woman, humans or animals.
Detach from only the concept of someone, one who wants to be this and that, then you can feel
No difference between you and me. Just facing the same up and down, success and failures in our life. Up and down or success and failures, young and old, life and death, all these are concerned with all living beings, not only with someone.
It refers to all. To be successful, to be a failure, to be having a good life, a bad life, birth and death. Everything is not about someone one. It is about all and everyone.
Your experience is concerned with all living beings, not only with you. This is right understanding.
Okay. Sure.
You experience like this, so also everyone will experience.
in a way.
You believe in God, so also everyone, I myself may believe in God in the past life, not this life. I was born in Buddhist country, that's why I believe in Buddha. If I was born here, I may believe in God. But everything is changing. Time is changing. Place is changing. Life is changing. That's why everything good and bad can happen to everyone. This is the life. This is the experience of endless life cycle, not only this life. If you see only this life, you are not me, I am not you. But if we see from one life after another endlessly, you can be like me, I can be like you. Everyone is the same. This is what I practice, what I understand and practice to help many people, to do many good deeds, to solve many problems.
That in church we don't know that there are other lives. In church we know that there is only one life.
Yes, but
Yeah, just let
we
you
don't
know.
need to know. We just need to not to reject.
For him it is difficult to get the idea what you say you can be someone else in a different life. Because first of all he does not know that there might be a different life.
that it is the same for me. Before I practice meditation, I don't believe in past life, future life. I believe only in this life. Only by practicing meditation, I can understand, I can accept. So also you can understand, you can practice. It is possible.
But the important point is what we can learn from
Are you talking about accessing abstinence to learn from them?
just learning
That's
from
what
just from accepting the concept what we can learn from
You can
Continue,
try, you
I
can
know.
test. Whatever you understand, you can test on your own experience and see.
Today is based on yesterday. So also tomorrow is based on today. So this is the same. This life is based on past life. Next life will be based on this life. This is simple and true if we understand like this. In this way, we dare not do bad things. If we do bad, let's say in the movie, the hero kill all the enemies in this way. In this way, there is the end of the movie. But in real life, never end. The First World War happened, stopped, and then the Second World War started again and finished. Now, more and more near to the Third World War also. it will never end. If there is one thing, there may be the same in the past and in the future also. Similar like this. Not the same life, I mean. Yesterday is not today. Tomorrow is also not today, but there is a connection. So also this life, past life, future life have connection. Not the same life. Not the same person, but not different also. Not different one.
So now when you give the understanding of life's continuation, you can
Yes.
speak about if you don't take yourself as someone, then you can be anyone.
Yes,
And
yes.
Now is the time to speak about this.
That's the one I heard. That's the main one I was able to focus here. I started wandering. Forgive me. I have a little bit of ADHD, so I sometimes I'll wander.
You can test it. If it is wrong, you can stop it.
Well, I'm not.
I
I'm
myself.
not
test it.
refuting. I'm not
Yes.
refuting you. I'm just excusing my lack of attention a little bit. Forgive me. Because we started talking about movies and stuff, and I wasn't really following very well. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just the detachment with me and languages. Sometimes I don't have a word, and then a word will do this, and you'll keep going this way, and I'll go in that train of thought to listen. And
The movie was an example
yes.
that anything can happen in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and then the movie is over.
Mm-hmm.
So as it happened, no consequence. Whatever happened, you just watched it, and
People kill each other.
and
this
then
happens, that happens,
in
but
life,
the movie
it's not
ends.
like this. Life is not a movie. Life is not something that will end, and whatever happened will just remain only there. Every action that happens in the life will appear as a reaction later.
So it's not ending like the movie.
It's not ended like one hour and 30 minutes of a movie. Life, as Sayadaw teaches, explains to us, I also heard this explanation for the first time, that today is based on yesterday. Tomorrow is based on today. From one comes the other. So in this same way, this life is the basis for the new life. Whatever we do in this life will have some result in the future.
Of course, that can be viewed as Christian understanding. That was part of my detachment was the thought of that, like the repercussions of what you do in this life carries on to the next life.
Yes. So Sayadaw also gave an idea to understand, to reflect, that if you think about someone, if you perceive through the filter, through the vision of someone, you attach that there is someone, something, then you will only believe that you are like this and like that. But if you detach from that, you can be anyone, everyone. Because now you are like in a Christian church, but in your past life, you could be born in another country, and you could be in a country which is a Buddhist country, and you could be not in a church, but in a Buddhistic community.
We have in our church we have what's called circumstantial salvation. That explains it.
Mm.
So, like for instance, I don't mind speaking about this a little bit. It's not very hard to explain.
Ellie? So he has some similar understanding from the church. Let's see, it is on.
So, like you were saying earlier, if you were only exposed to Buddhism and you had no other example of how to live a moral life, then, and you live within your heart, then you could be still saved, you could still find heaven, because God would be like, oh well, you didn't get to meet me in the correct order, so come on in, kind of thing. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know if this is a little bit. You can get even more. So you can get even more deeper with this, where it's like, for children who knew nothing but certain sins, but because they only knew them and they didn't know anything else, they were still given a pass, right? Because they didn't know anything else. If that makes any sense.
What do you refer to in the words of Sayadaw talking about this, that you say it is similar? You said that this is similar from your learning in the church, right? Something that he is teaching, that he is explaining, is similar to what you know from the church. So what do you refer to from his words? I can't get to understand.
I'm
From his.
not a writer, I'm a thinker.
It's okay, we discuss.
I get it. It's like having a complete thought or
Circumstantial salvation.
So, but about what?
how does it connect to it, right?
Sayadaw
Yeah.
mentioned like he might have been born here and not have been Buddhist, or
Yeah,
he just
you refer to this,
Yeah.
that you can.
He was only exposed to Buddhism. He didn't have any exposure. He was completely foreign to the notion of Christianity.
he could still
But-
be saved and go to heaven because of having morality in his heart.
But Sayadaw was giving another point. This is why I couldn't understand his books about this. Yeah, I was attached to the right understanding. I cannot get the wrong understanding. Okay.
I don't know why that just seemed like the most response to the situation. Like I don't. That's that question and answer thing. I don't know if it's because of my mind. I'm not trying to control my mind as well as I should, or it was something that needed to be said. But
It's just what his attention went to on Sayadaw's words.
I understood just the attention on the words, not on the meaning. Yeah, this is why.
completely. Now I feel like I've completely derailed. I'm sorry.
We all are in a sense.
He was saying that in Christianity, like even people who never could hear about God and accept God, they can still go to heaven if they have morality in their heart, like naturally, even if they never had a chance to learn about God. Like for Sayadaw, you were born in a Buddhist country, you couldn't know about God, but you would still have a chance to go to heaven if you have morality in your heart. Or like for little children who are only exposed to sin and then they die young, they never got a chance to know a moral life, they also could still go to heaven, be accepted into heaven by God, because
Mercy.
by God's mercy. Like they didn't have a chance to live a moral life, but it wasn't their fault. Just they never got exposed to the Word of God.
I don't know why I'm thinking that way. I'm sorry. I just went that direction.
What you could relate to. Yeah, it's not important.
Okay.
This is how we are.
I came from Switzerland for this.
How did you understand about heaven? In Buddhism, we did not use the word heaven. So what is the meaning? We use as nirvana. Nirvana means permanent nature. No life, no death, no living beings, no non-living beings. Completeness, selflessness, nothingness. So what is the meaning of heaven? What do you understand about heaven?
Oh, and what you were saying?
No, in your experience, he wants to
Oh,
understand.
well,
Just need to
Oh, well,
know.
my understanding of it.
You are
Okay.
saying about heaven, so heaven
I'm
is-
You
sorry.
mentioned heaven. You don't have the same vocabulary. I remind you. So explain to him what you mean when you mention heaven.
Okay. Trying to talk about. Just not listening to my common sense sometimes. My understanding of heaven is no tears, no pain, no sorrow, no suffering, only endless bliss, joy, all the positives that Christ is. Mercy, compassion, all the high thinking, I guess is what you call it. Compassion, mercy, joy, no negatives, all positives. Never ending. It was a quote that a saint said one time about it, that sort of helps to put it in perspective. I think it was Saint Catherine. It might have been Saint Catherine of the Great. I'm digressing. But the point of it was that she came down and she talked to another saint who was still on Earth, and she was like, if I had known what I was going to experience there, I would have suffered 1,000 years. The same thing, and if worse. If I knew what would have come of it.
But what comes like the suffering is worth the heaven. Is that what you said? The heaven?
That was like, what,
After
like
the
the form.
suffering, she got to the heaven. You mean?
Hmm?
After the suffering, she got to the heaven.
She said that the heaven is so amazing that she
Yeah,
would
but-
suffer 1,000,000 times.
In order to get there, because after suffering, she got to the heaven. Is it right?
She would endure like an exaggerated amount of what if she knew what was waiting for her.
Ah, so
Like she would have endured happily.
she passed through all the suffering
No, she
to
would.
get to this.
She would.
Do so.
But she
If
got
she
to
had
know.
previously known how amazing.
Yes, yes.
She
This is
would,
what I
like,
try to
gladly
confirm with him, that he means this. I know that you understand, and I understand. I want to see if this is what he tries to say. This is, yes.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We have similar.
Someone understanding or
Ellie, yes, she will.
oh, so forgive me.
Oh, I think Sarah heard him.
It was clear, right? Was it clear about heaven? It's the place with only positives and no negatives, like no pain, no sorrow, no suffering, no tears, only the positives that Christ is, which is compassion, mercy, joy, only positive things. Then he told an example that one saint who went to heaven and came back, she told someone, like, if I had known how wonderful heaven is, I would endure 1,000 years of suffering to go there.
And not just any suffering, specifically martyrdom.
Like the worst suffering.
Like martyric suffering, yes. Like dying suffering.
Oh.
Like on the
Like
cross.
suffering a terrible death
Yes.
for 1,000 years.
We had that in Suttas too. Yeah.
But in my understanding, because of practicing meditation, if we can detach from the life of human beings, we can be Deva or Brahma. The lifespan of Deva and Brahma are
Deva is almost like an angel, a heavenly being. Like not heavenly.
very long. It seems like never die. Compared with the lifespan of human beings, the lifespan of Deva and Brahma are much more longer. So especially in the life experience of the Brahma,
Just breathe as well.
no Brahma means no suffering, no man, no woman, just peace of the mind. So it can be like that. The heaven, what you mean, is similar to the life of Brahma or Deva.
You're gonna
It
have
is
to explain
possible
it.
like that. That is what I'm
Understanding it.
understanding. But even the life of them may not be permanent.
But in Christianity, heaven is permanent.
Yes.
This is what
You may go to heaven with a new life, but in Buddhism, not only by teaching but also by practicing, I came to understand if I die with this step of the mind, I may be Deva or I may be Brahma, like that. But that is also not complete yet. There is the end for every life. That is what I understand because of practice.
but
Human life is not much more suffering, but the life of Brahma, not much suffering. The life of Deva, not much suffering. The life of Brahma seem like no suffering. Like no more dying. Seems similar like this. Because their lifespan is too long. In this way, some of the Brahma misunderstood themselves. They are immortal. They will never die like that.
We become like that.
We want to translate for him. He said that he will need help to
Understand what he's saying.
Well,
Forgive
there
me.
was a Brahmas and Brahma he doesn't know with Brahma. So
You should explain.
okay.
Like in Buddhism, there's also heaven, but heaven is also an impermanent place, like the human life. Heaven is also a place like you described, free from any negativity, only positives like mercy, compassion, joy, but that is also just temporary, although their lifespan is very long, so it feels like it goes on forever, but it will also come to an end, like our human life, and then they can go another place after that. That's the Buddhist explanation, and
So-
what Zero understood.
Okay.
But nirvana is different from what he's saying now, what we call heaven.
Let him digest this, and Cindy needs to translate sometimes.
I just have so like another parallel I would say to what this in my own understanding I'm just gonna say in understanding gotta practice. So this is more along the lines of what happens in heaven. So like we live an infinite life. We have infinite life when we go into heaven. We don't ever die, and we're ever moving forward. There's ever ascent. So there is a change of sorts, like an eternal ascent towards God, which of course starts on earth. And then when you get to die, I almost call that a gift the way I said it. You get to die for God and continue onward into the new life in heaven, and then it continues ever forward. And it's kind of interesting where maybe ever forward. So there is this sort of unending ascent in heaven. Because everyone came in at a different point, right? So there isn't like, it's impermanent, permanent sort of thing, I guess. There's another, and then of course, on Earth, there's eventually this Earth will end. There will be a true judgment day, and that this physical Earth will roll up into a scroll like nothing. And maybe I don't have the concept as well for this one. It just feels like it's in line with my previous thought. I think I'll stop there. Or no? So the Earth gets rolled up in a scroll, and then we start a new life. And everyone who's on Earth gets pulled. Everyone who was living the right life on Earth gets pulled up into heaven. And of course, there is an existence of the other side for those who don't. The opposite. But we're speaking heaven. We're speaking heaven. Sorry, it's hard to when you you speak of one. There's also hell, of course. But there's also the thought that it's like he's always active. He lives in action. Like he never doesn't act. So hell is like the utmost, like even up to the last minute of your life you can repent to heaven and completely. I've heard of stories, like my priest has talked about stories of like and like there's this woman who had lived her whole life just as she saw fit, as she saw best, right? As she saw best. And then in her life, she had become catatonic, like almost like she had had a stroke or something, where she couldn't speak, or like almost completely like a babe, or couldn't even, but still alive. Just her mind was just not there anymore, and the priest was invited to confess her because she seemed to be getting close to death, and he didn't know how to because he couldn't even talk to her. So he'd spent the whole night like tormented about this, like, how am I going to confess this woman if I can't speak to her? And then he finally gets there, and I think he goes through a rite, like a blessing, and before he knows it, the woman just awakens and is able to speak to him clearly and confesses all of her sins. And then he communes her, and she dies, and she goes to heaven, even on her deathbed. And there's even like this other, I don't know if it's the same story, but there was this other priest who was like able to see, like the second sight, of the heavenly and on earth, and he saw like a great flock of crows flying out of her out of the house, as the devil had been rebuked and all the demons flew out away from her, just as more further conclusiveness of what had happened to this woman. It's much better told by who said it. It's much more elaborate. This is definitely a TLDR or a shortened version of it. There's some really beautiful moments. I'm remembering partially of it, but unfortunately my mind is not getting the concept quite as well right now. But I think I explained it as succinctly as I could.
Okay, I'm gonna take a few minutes to translate so the Vietnamese audience can catch up to our conversation.
Okay.
Ngài Thiền sư, đây là chia sẻ của Ngài Thiền sư. Nếu như chúng ta nương tựa vào một ai đó, cho dù đó là chính bản thân chúng ta, thì chúng ta có thể sẽ thất vọng bây giờ hoặc ở một thời điểm khác. Chỉ khi nào chúng ta làm các thiện pháp bằng cách giữ giới với chánh niệm và xả ly, thì chúng ta mới càng ngày càng hiểu hơn về nhân và quả của các hành động của thân, khẩu và ý của chính bản thân chúng ta và của người khác. Chỉ khi bắt đầu thực hành thiền thì thầy mới có thể xả ly khỏi tự ngã, xả ly khỏi một ai đó, một cái tôi. Cho nên thầy mới chấp nhận thầy là tất cả mọi người, bao gồm cả con. Và thầy cũng đã là con trong quá khứ. Bây giờ con đi nhà thờ và con đặt câu hỏi rằng vì sao mọi người phải nhận khổ đau trong khi họ không xứng phải nhận như vậy. Thầy có thể cũng đã như vậy. Thầy cũng có thể đã từng bị trầm cảm. Và nếu như thầy xả ly khỏi một ai đó thì thầy có thể chấp nhận thầy là tất cả mọi người, cho dù đó là tốt hoặc xấu. Thầy có thể là một người đàn ông hoặc một người đàn bà, một con người hoặc một súc vật. Không có sự khác nhau giữa con và thầy. Chúng ta cũng đã có thể phải đối mặt với những giai đoạn tăng và những giai đoạn lên và những giai đoạn xuống, những thành công và những thất bại trong cuộc đời của chúng ta. Chúng ta cũng đã từng là những người trẻ và những người già. Vấn đề thành công, thất bại, già, trẻ là áp dụng cho tất cả các chúng sanh, không phải chỉ riêng một ai đó. Cho nên những trải nghiệm của con cũng có thể là trải nghiệm cho tất cả các chúng sanh. Nếu như con bây giờ có những trải nghiệm như vậy, thì tất cả mọi người cũng có thể sẽ trải nghiệm như vậy. Có thể là thầy cũng đã từng tin vào Chúa Trời trong những đời sống kiếp trước của thầy. Nhưng vì thầy sinh ra ở Miến Điện, nên thầy đã tin vào Phật giáo. Nhưng nếu như thầy sinh ra ở đây, thì thầy có thể sẽ tin Đức Chúa Trời. Và như vậy mọi thứ đều có thể thay đổi hoàn cảnh con người, cho dù tốt hoặc xấu, thì tất cả mọi việc gì cũng có thể xảy ra cho bất kỳ ai. Đó là lý do vì sao những trải nghiệm này sẽ đưa đến các đời sống trong vô tận, không chỉ là những kiếp sống này. Nếu như con chỉ thấy được đời sống này thì con sẽ thấy là có tôi và có bạn. Nhưng nếu con có thể thấy được rất nhiều kiếp trong quá khứ thì con sẽ thấy rằng người đó cũng có thể là con và con cũng đã có thể là họ. Cho nên tất cả mọi người đều là giống nhau. Vì Thầy hiểu như vậy nên Thầy mới có thể giúp đỡ rất nhiều người và làm rất nhiều các thiện pháp. Trước khi Thầy thực hành thiền thì Thầy không tin vào tiền kiếp, cũng giống như con. Và nếu như con tiếp tục thực tập thì chính con cũng có thể hiểu. Con phải hiểu như vậy. Ngày hôm nay là dựa trên ngày hôm qua và ngày mai là dựa trên ngày hôm nay. Đời sống hiện tại là dựa trên đời sống của quá khứ và đời sống của tương lai là dựa trên đời sống của kiếp này. Sự thật này rất đơn giản. Nếu như con hiểu như vậy thì con sẽ không dám làm những việc bất thiện. Thầy cho một ví dụ. Trong một cuốn phim thì người anh hùng đã giết những kẻ thù của anh ta và như vậy thì bộ phim kết thúc. Nhưng ở đời sống thật sự thì không có sự kết thúc. Giống như là đã có chiến tranh thứ nhất và sẽ có chiến tranh thế giới thứ nhì và bây giờ sẽ có chiến tranh thế giới thứ ba. Nó sẽ là vô tận, không có gì là ở trong quá khứ hoặc ở tương lai. Quá khứ và ngày mai thì không phải là hôm nay, nhưng có sự kết nối giữa quá khứ và ngày mai và hiện tại. Giống như tiền kiếp và những kiếp sống tương lai là không giống nhau, không có cùng một con người, nhưng chắc chắn là sẽ có sự kết nối. Con hãy thử nó đi và nếu như nó sai thì con có thể dừng lại. Và Justin đã nói rằng, thưa Ngài, ở trong đạo Tin Lành thì cho dù là có những con người chưa bao giờ tin vào Đức Chúa Trời, chưa bao giờ tiếp nhận Đức Chúa Trời, nhưng họ cũng có thể đến thiên đàng nếu như họ sống một đời sống có đạo đức. Và Ngài Thiền Sư thưa Ngài, mặc dù Ngài là Phật tử, nhưng nếu như Ngài có một đời sống đạo đức thì Ngài cũng có thể lên thiên đàng. Và những đứa trẻ mà chết sớm thì cho dù là chưa bao giờ tiếp cận với Đức Chúa Trời thì cũng được Đức Chúa Trời chấp nhận vào cổng thiên đàng vì tâm từ của Đức Chúa Trời. Và Ngài Thiền Sư đã hỏi Justin rằng, Justin, con hiểu gì về thiên đàng? Vì ở trong đạo Phật, chúng tôi không dùng chữ thiên đàng, nhưng chúng tôi dùng chữ Niết Bàn. Niết Bàn là trường tồn, là thường hằng, là trường tồn, không có đời sống và không có cái chết. Niết Bàn là không có chúng sanh hoặc phi chúng sanh. Niết Bàn là thường hằng và là vô ngã. Vậy thì Justin, con hiểu gì về Niết Bàn? Con hiểu gì về thiên đàng? Và Justin đã trả lời rằng, thưa Ngài, con hiểu rằng thiên đàng là không có những giọt nước mắt, không có khổ đau, chỉ có hạnh phúc, chỉ có tâm từ, không có gì tiêu cực cả, chỉ có điều tích cực mà thôi. Và có một câu nói của một vị thánh đã nói rằng, một vị thánh đã xuống trần gian và nói với một vị thánh khác rằng, nếu như tôi biết rằng thiên đàng là như vậy thì tôi đã không ngần ngại để chịu đựng rất nhiều khổ đau trong 1000 năm. Và Ngài Thiền Sư đã trả lời, theo như thầy hiểu thì như vậy. Justin hiểu về thiên đàng giống như con. Thì trong sự hiểu biết của thầy, nếu như chúng ta có thể xả ly khỏi đời sống của một con người thì chúng ta có thể trở thành một vị chư thiên hoặc phạm thiên. Và đời sống của chư thiên và phạm thiên là rất dài, giống như là họ sẽ không bao giờ chết, và đời sống của họ rất dài so với đời sống của một con người. Và nhưng nhất là ở đời sống của một phạm thiên thì không có sự khổ đau, không có đàn ông hoặc đàn bà, họ chỉ hưởng lợi lạc mà họ chỉ hưởng sự vui sướng mà thôi và sự an bình trong tâm. Có thể là nó cũng giống như thiên đàng mà con đã mô tả. Thiên đàng cũng giống như là thế giới của Phạm Thiên và chư thiên. Nhưng con phải hiểu rằng cho dù là đời sống của Phạm Thiên và chư thiên thì nó cũng không thường hằng, vì họ rồi cũng sẽ kết thúc thọ mạng của một vị chư thiên và Phạm Thiên. Và mọi người có thêm vào rằng Ngài Thiền Sư ở trong Đạo Tinh Lành thì thiên đàng là thường hằng. Và nếu như con đến thiên đàng, con có thể có một đời sống khác. Nhưng theo Thầy hiểu về Đạo Phật thì nếu như mà một Phạm Thiên hoặc một vị chư thiên chết đi thì sẽ có tiếp tục một đời sống khác. Giống như đời sống của con người là có nhiều khổ đau hơn, nhưng đời sống của một Phạm Thiên và chư thiên thì không có quá nhiều khổ đau. Và đời sống của họ có thể là rất dài, cho nên rất nhiều vị Phạm Thiên và chư thiên đã hiểu rằng họ là bất tử, nhưng việc này là không đúng. Và Justin đã chia sẻ rằng theo những gì con biết thì có muôn vàn đời sống trong vô tận. Và khi chúng ta đến thiên đàng thì chúng ta sẽ không chết nữa, chúng ta không có tội, chúng ta có thể bắt đầu từ ở mặt đất này. Nhưng nếu như chúng ta đến thiên đàng và gặp Chúa Trời thì chúng ta có thể tiếp tục sống ở đó và không bao giờ phải tái sanh lại nữa. Nhưng ở những người sống ở trái đất này thì sẽ có ngày bị phán xét. Ngày đó sẽ xảy ra và trái đất sẽ bị hủy diệt. Và người nào đã sống một đời sống đúng đắn sẽ được Đức Chúa Trời đưa lên thiên đàng. Và cho dù là họ đang ở địa ngục và họ biết sám hối thì họ cũng có thể đến thiên đàng. Và Justin đã kể về cuộc đời của một con chiên. Và trước khi bà ta chết, bà ta đã gặp một đức cha và bà ta đã xin tội. Và đức cha đã tha tội cho cô ấy và cô ấy chết và đã lên thiên đàng. Và đây là sự chia sẻ của sự hiểu biết của Justin về thiên đàng và sự trả lời và hướng dẫn của vị thiền sư về thiên đàng. Thiên đàng giống như là thế giới của Phạm Thiên và chư thiên. Nhưng mà cho dù là đời sống của Phạm Thiên và chư thiên thì nó cũng không thường hằng và nó cũng sẽ phải kết thúc.
No, he comes from Christian culture. This is his first experience. Come around that yeah. No, he understands this. He understands this. This he understands. He says. He understands the morality. As I see, for him, morality is important.
Although I'm explaining to him or to anyone, I'm not grasping. This is right. This is right understanding. Although I'm doing good deeds like this, I'm not grasping. This is right action. I'm trying to be doing only, sharing only, with detaching mind. The power of detaching mind is helpful to the other to detach from their grasping habit, detaching from themselves. If I'm grasping my understanding as this is right, they will also be grasping their understanding as this is mine. I'm not grasping this understanding as mine, as Buddhist. I'm just sharing only. I use the power of detachment In this way, it is helpful to the others to let go of their grasping on self or oneself or one person, one thing, one time and one place. So what I am teaching is not much important. The power I am using is concerned with mindfulness and detachment. The more I am able to be mindful, the more I am able to detach, the teaching will be more powerful. Teaching or sharing or answering will be more powerful. I experienced the same power, similar power, when I learned Vipassana or Dhamma from the meditation teacher. They teach in Myanmar language, but they use the power of mindfulness and detachment. They are not grasping, I am right, you are wrong, like that. They are not grasping like this. I know, you don't know. No grasping like this. They are just doing what should do. They are telling about the truth as much as they can. In this way, I myself also able to let go of the habit of grasping on someone or I, something or mine. If, like Russia and Ukraine, the both did not give up. That's why the war continues, day after day, months after months, years after years, because of no side, no country is given, no country is letting go of their view. In the side of Russia, he is right. In the side of Ukraine, he is right. That's why the war continues till now. It will be the same if I am grasping. If I am grasping on Buddha or Dhamma or Sangha, the other will also be grasping on Jesus or teaching of Jesus. Because of using only without grasping, it will be helpful for everyone to be able to let go sooner or later. Action speak louder than words. So also the power speak louder than action. The power of mindfulness and detachment are limited. The power of ignorance and attachment are limited. The power of mindfulness and detachment are limitless. The strongest will win, survive. Only the strongest power can survive. If you are weak in your practice, in your keeping precept, you are not safe. Not because of good deeds you are doing, but because of weakness in your action of good deeds.
Cho dù thầy có giải thích cho Justin hoặc bất kỳ ai, thì thầy cũng không bám víu vào sự hiểu biết này là sự hiểu biết đúng đắn. Và cho dù thầy đang làm các thiện pháp, thì thầy cũng không bám víu vào đây là hành động đúng đắn. Thầy chỉ chia sẻ mà thôi với tâm xả ly. Sức mạnh của tâm xả ly là sẽ rất ít để giúp đỡ những người khác xả ly khỏi những thói quen bám víu của chính bản thân họ. Nếu như thầy cứ bám víu vào sự hiểu biết của mình là đúng, thì người đó cũng sẽ bám víu vào sự hiểu biết của họ. Sự hiểu biết đó là thuộc về họ. Thầy chỉ đang chia sẻ mà thôi, và thầy đang sử dụng sức mạnh của xả ly. Bằng cách này, nó sẽ rất hữu ích để người khác có thể từ bỏ khỏi bản ngã, từ bỏ khỏi chính bản thân họ, từ bỏ khỏi không gian và thời gian. Những gì thầy đang dạy là không quan trọng. Sức mạnh mà thầy đang sử dụng mới là quan trọng. Thầy đang sử dụng sức mạnh của chánh niệm và xả ly. Và nếu thầy càng có thể chánh niệm, thì thầy càng có thể xả ly. Và sự hướng dẫn và trả lời câu hỏi và chia sẻ sẽ càng ngày càng có nhiều thêm sức mạnh. Thầy cũng đã từng có những trải nghiệm như vậy. Thầy đã từng nhận được những sức mạnh như vậy khi thầy bắt đầu học thiền và học giáo pháp từ những vị thiền sư. Họ đã dạy thầy bằng tiếng Miến Điện, nhưng họ lại sử dụng sức mạnh của chánh niệm và xả ly. Họ không bám víu. Họ chỉ làm những gì họ nên làm mà thôi. Họ chỉ đang nói về sự thật trong khả năng của họ. Và vì như vậy, thầy mới có thể từ bỏ thói quen nắm bắt của thầy, thói quen nắm bắt vào một cái ngã, một ai đó, một cái gì đó của tôi và là tôi. Giống như Nga và Ukraine, cả hai đều không muốn từ bỏ những ý nghĩ của họ, cho nên chiến tranh mới tiếp tục. Không có đất nước nào chịu từ bỏ góc nhìn của họ. Từ góc nhìn của Nga thì Nga là đúng, từ góc nhìn của Ukraine thì Ukraine là đúng, và cứ như vậy chiến tranh lại tiếp tục. Nếu như thầy cứ bám víu vào Đức Phật, Pháp và Tăng, và vì như vậy thì người khác cũng sẽ bám víu vào Giêsu và lời dạy của Giêsu. Vì thầy chỉ làm mà thôi mà không có sự bám víu, nên nó sẽ rất hữu ích cho tất cả mọi người để có thể từ bỏ. Hành động là có tiếng nói lớn hơn cả những lời nói. Cũng giống như vậy, sức mạnh của chánh niệm và xả ly là lớn hơn cả hành động. Sức mạnh của chánh niệm và xả ly là không có giới hạn, còn sức mạnh của vô minh và dính mắc là có giới hạn. Chỉ sức